Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Good evening.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk.
It is. And the new layout and everything, it looks like it's working good.
Yes, it does, doesn't it, Jeff?
And now we're sporting, just so y'all know, look at the fancy duds we got on tonight. Thank you. Shout out big time to our very good friends and part of the Treasure Talk family, very loyal friends, the Trumbull Treasure Hunters up in Ohio. If you're anywhere near Ohio and you're looking for a great metal detecting club, that's the one. Get in touch with them. Trumbull Treasure Hunters, Trumbull County.
Yeah, Trumbull Treasure Hunters. They're awesome folks. I've met quite a few of them when they come down here. So I thank them for the shirt. Jocelyn thanks them for the little Vera Bradley purse that they sent her. And Jeff looks good in his shirt too. So I love clubs. You know that, Jeff. I'm always pushing clubs because when somebody's new into treasure hunting, metal detecting, that's the first place I tell them to go because you'll learn a lot. They always have a program. Like every club I've gone to has the same thing. They'll have a monthly hunt competition, which that's cool in itself, seeing what's found. And they'll have raffles, coin raffles. They'll do hunts. They'll do education. Just a good place to learn and meet a lot of folks who have a similar hobby.
Well, the metal detecting club is the lifeblood of the hobby.
Yes, it is.
Like you said, the newbies, they come and they learn the right way in most instances.
Right. And, and the clubs teach them for sure.
Yeah. And the thing of it is, a lot of people think that being the president of a club and setting up the meetings and all that just takes you about 20 minutes to do. Trust me, you know that is not the case.
It's not the case. And there's a lot of good people in those clubs and you just learn a lot. And our guest tonight, he was a past club member and president, still a club member, because you just have a good time and they do a lot of organized hunts and do different things. And I'm sure if you have the opportunity, check out, if you're in Ohio, check out Trumbull Treasure Hunters for sure.
Yes, indeed. You will be glad you did. And the president of that club, the ones that are running it is Jim Bacorn and Kathy Kraus Bacorn.
Yes.
And trust me, Kathy's the brains of the outfit there.
It usually works that way for some reason. They come up with all the good ideas, don't they, Jocelyn? Yeah. The wives come up with the good ideas. She's over there. Nobody hears her, but she's over there saying that's true.
Hey, everybody hears her.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Could you hear her?
Oh, yeah.
So I guess we better do our housekeeping.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. As always, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to the guest and member and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin. Whew. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of treasure hunting and metal detecting and treasure hunting in all forms and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner.
Yes, indeed. And we need to do something real quick. Let's have a little minute of a silence and say a little silent prayer. Adele Lampersky Rutherford, her grandson, needs our prayers. And she is a very, very loyal fan of Treasure Talk. She has sent us some really nice artwork. So if everybody would kind of join us here just for a minute, and it's an unspoken, but let's just close our eyes and lift up her grandson for the needs. Sounds good.
All righty. Well, I guess before we bring Jimmy on, let's do the rundown of the state of the metal detector industry. I'm sure a lot of folks have saw some videos today, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so evidently MindLab and Naka are really going at it. MindLab brought out two new detectors today, the Xterra Elite and the Xterra Elite Pro Pack. And those are, and I haven't seen them yet. I think I may have some here on this week. The Xterra Elite, those are waterproof and multi-frequency, was what you need here when you're hunting the saltwater beaches for sure. And then, of course, at a lower price, I think they were brought out to compete with the Score and Double Score. And Naka, not to outdo themselves, but they immediately after the one video, you got to see Naka, and they brought out the Triple Score. And it has two coils with it. The Triple Score Pro Pack has two coils, wireless headphones, and one of the coils is the SC24. And for you legend users, you use the LG24 for relic and coin hunting. And that is just an awesome setup. And they've done the same with the Triple Score. And I think they added a few more features too. So as we always say, Jeff, the consumer wins, don't they? And
They do, and they're winning big.
Yes, they're winning.
Because I think that Triple Score Pro Pack comes with a hand digger, fines pouch, a couple other things as well.
It wouldn't surprise me. The Legend has been an awesome detector. Folks have loved it. And I think that if it's in that line, it's going to do very well here in Florida for sure. And it doesn't break the bank. It's a more affordable detector. So that's cool that they're bringing those out. And then MindLab's bringing some stuff out. And then MindLab's got a summer specials on their Manicore. You'll get 3 coils with the Manicore. And with the 900, you'll get a 15-inch coil. And with the 700, you'll get a free 6-inch coil. And I don't stock the 6 or the 800 because I feel like, the technology is bumped up. Anything that was wrong with the 6 or 8, I hope I don't get in trouble saying this, but I think they've fixed it on the 7 and 9. So why should I stock the 6 and the 8?
Yeah, if somebody wants it, you can get it.
Yeah, I could special order for them if they wanted that. It would, and the 600 I think is like $4.99 now. But with the other products you just don't need that. I think it's better to get the newer product for sure. And then I guess if we go down our list, everybody's probably seen all the teasers for Garrett. They're coming out with the Storm, but nobody knows anything. And that's, I guess, the way they want to keep it.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think Garrett is basically just going direct, aren't they? They're no more dealers.
I don't know about that, but they because I still sell their products, but they are going direct. So we'll see how that pans out for them. And then Fisher, we haven't heard anything from them, so they're pretty much
dead in the water.
Yeah. And all my friends they'll call me every day, ask when you're going to hear something from Deus about a new coil. So we have Merle coming on, so we can twist his arm on that, can't we?
Yeah, that'll be in August. I think that the way Deus is operating is when they come out with something, it'll be something new and innovative.
Yes.
Because I don't think Deus is interested in getting into the fray with Nokta and MindLab.
Yeah, I
really don't. They've got a unique product, really.
Yes, they do.
And I just don't think they're interested in getting in the cat fight. No,
I don't think so either. I think they're steer clear and making a good product, selling a bunch of them, and ignoring everything else. That's just the place anyway.
Yep, that's for sure.
So that's about all I have to say on the detectors, except for Naka, of course, has released the Legend. I guess it's 1.15, the Beast mode. So hopefully, some of our members who've downloaded that and tried it out will put some comments in the feed here and let us know what they thought of the new operating system, the Beast mode, for sure.
Yeah.
So
for sure. So if you guys got comments or questions tonight for our guest, get them in the chat. We'll be doing a giveaway later. We're giving away some swag from Myers Swag.
Yes, we're going to do a T-shirt and whatever else I throw in the envelope there, or Joe throws in the envelope.
It might be a size each.
Yes, we know it'll have that, Jeff. We got to have the Myers towel,
That's
treasure trove
right.
towel for sure.
World renowned. And a calendar.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I still got a couple calendars left, so we'll throw that in there too.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
maybe a koozie. Who knows?
Who knows what's going to be in there? It'll just be a happy day when you get it.
That's right. You'll be happy, happy, happy.
Yes. So I guess we ought to bring on our guest. Did we cover everything first?
I think we had. You did the housekeeping?
Yes, did that. Talked about the all the different manufacturers, what they're doing.
Yeah, and also one thing now for the Trumbull Treasure Hunting Club, tomorrow night they're meeting at a different place because the weather's going to be good to do some detecting. But if you get rained out, I think you all got an email from the president of the club. But if you get rained out, you go back to the normal venue. So have fun tomorrow night. Enjoy yourself. Make some friends. Find some history.
Absolutely. And Jocelyn was just telling me we had somebody had a comment, but 513 digs, and I can't. Yes, yes, that is a steal. She's telling me about what the score, the triple score comes with the SC24, the SC, I guess it would be a 30, and the wireless headphones $499. Yes, that is a steal for sure. And I guess we better bring Jimmy on.
Yep, good idea. So this man has been through it. I will tell you that. He has seen the pearly gates and came back to us. So we're going to find out all about that tonight and everything else he's been up to. Here is Jimmy Crossbones.
Hello, Jeff. Phil.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Well, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So we were talking about clubs, and we'll just get the club stuff out of the way first. Why don't you tell everybody the club you're a member of and when they meet and where it's at?
Actually, I'm a member of two clubs. First one is the Central Florida Metal Detecting Club, which I was president for the past 2 years. We meet every second Friday on High Bank Road, and it's a Lutheran church, I believe. And the Daytona Digging Farm Club, which
okay.
is run by West. Everybody knows West down here on the East Coast.
Yeah. So your club, I used to come to your Central Florida club.
Yeah, what's the deal? I mean, we hadn't seen either one of y'all, and of course, the 2 years that I was president, I would have expected that y'all would have came to our annual silver and relic hunt. But
I wanted to come, but I just was too busy over here. And plus, Florida's gotten so busy now, getting across the I-4 is just brutal.
oh, I'll tell you what, we hunted the West Coast day before yesterday, and I really dread the drive back because you hit that traffic right in Plant City all through there, and it's almost a standstill every day.
Yeah, it stops. It's
I don't know why either. I mean, you go to a certain point and it just opens back up.
Disney.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. That happens every time I'm on there. It'll be like for a mile or two just stopped, and then all of a sudden just wide open again.
That's the domino effect.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. But Pink Power Alley says, looking amazing, Jimmy. Thank the Lord.
Hey, thank you. And first of all, I want to thank everybody that was praying for me during that I call it my episode now. And I really think there's a lot of people that probably yanked me out of the water just in time.
Yeah, so I guess we should talk about that a little bit, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
Just
so
get
tell us what happened.
Well,
Remember.
yeah, as I can remember, three of us went down to South Florida to do a little Nemo hunting, and of course, hopefully everybody know what the blue Nemo is. It's a breathing device that floats along the water, and you go down 10 foot of hose, and you're shallow water scuba diving in a way. So what happened on this occasion, we was down there and there was three of us, and Captain Nemo and myself hit the water at the same time. And what we were doing, we were gridding out the trough in between the beach and that outer sandbar. And because that's where everybody swims. And of course, we was finding all kinds of stuff. I think we ended up with maybe 5 rings that day. I can't, again, I can't remember. But what actually happened, I was gridding up and down through there, and I took a breath of air, exhaled, and started to take another breath, and the battery just shut down.
It just shut down?
It just shut down. And of course, the first thing I thought of, I knew I was not that deep in water. So my first thought was to just bounce up, get a breath of air. And when I bounced up, I noticed the beach probably wasn't but 10 or 12 yards. So what I thought I was going to do was go down, take a couple of steps. I was weighing about 40 pounds of weight to keep me on the bottom. And that wasn't really no issue. And a lot of people was saying, well, why didn't I just dump my weight belt? Well, when I came up and seen the beach was so close, I thought I could get to it with, a little bit of effort anyway. So I did that a couple bounces up and got breath. And after that, I don't remember anything. I guess I blacked out. Well, I did. I blacked out. And it wasn't it was me, Captain Nemo, and Old Navy. And Old Navy was hunting the beach line, and Nemo was probably, 20, 30 yards away from me. But we were so close to the shoreline that it was kind of a murky water, so we couldn't really see each other. And Carl said he seen me come up twice, and he was wondering, what was I doing? And he said the third time, he said he didn't see me. And he thought, well, he should have come back up by now. And then he looked out there and he said he'd seen my feet up in the water, up above the water. So of course, immediately he ran out there, and got me pulled back in, and they called rescue, and they said there was 3 or 4 boats that appeared up there. Of course, EMT showed up, and well, they took real good care of me, I guess. I did not wake up in the hospital. They had me sedated for. I asked my son how many days was it, and he said he thought it was 7 or 8 days.
Oh, geez.
And it was the strangest things when I finally started coming to. Of course, I couldn't remember anything, and it was funny, I guess, because I was still sedated, and I thought I was seeing things, but I thought I was in a reality show. I had people walking by me, and as soon as they got to me, they almost like they jerked their head and looked straight at me, and as they walked by, as soon as they got past me, they went on about their business. It was the freakiest thing I could ever imagine. And I did not know if I was in heaven or hell or where I was at. And finally, I started gaining a little bit more conscious, day by day. But I was in the ICU for 17, 18 days.
Jeez.
And they run me through the CAT scan. I remember 3 times I asked my son. He said, no, it was a whole lot more than that. But they found something in my skull. They called it a bleeder, that they were more concerned about that than was my lungs. Of course, not knowing what was going on. First of all, I want to say both my sons came down there immediately to my side. And it wasn't for me when I woke up, seeing my youngest son. I asked him 2 or 3 different times. I said, are you real? Are you real? I mean, I couldn't figure out what was going on. And he said, you got to calm down or they're going to sedate you again. And, because I guess when I started coming through, I was, thrashing and trying to get up and get loose. And because, of course, I don't remember none of that. Probably a good thing I don't. But
the thing that it's good you had your buddies with you and you weren't by yourself.
Yes, yes. Now, uh, Nemo, he was in the water with me, and we just come to the conclusion that it was a faulty battery. And the reason I say that, the first month that I had my blue Nemo, I walked out into the water and about 5 foot, and I, was more or less testing it out. And within 5 minutes of breathing, the battery shut down on that one too.
Mm.
Of course, I called and they sent me a brand new battery right out, like that. But there is definitely something going on with the batteries. And one of the reasons I want to, tell this story is beware, they're not foolproof. Something could go wrong. So you need to make sure you're detecting or diving or snorkeling or whatever with with a friend.
Yeah, you got to go with a
You never
buddy.
know what's going to happen. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, it's even better if you're not using a blue Nemo, if you have a buddy with you when you're out in the water, because a lot of things going to happen in the water. You know that.
Well, I'm sure I mean, with the current, you could step in a hole, or we have the rip ties quite a bit on the East Coast over here, and if you step in the wrong place and that current pulls you out, you're in trouble. And I've had it almost happen, just wading in the water. Of course, we wade up to our necks, a lot of times, and try to get as far as we can out when we're detecting. And I've had a couple of times step in a hole where I've had to take my scoop and actually push down to get me back up on the sandbar or whatever I'm hunting on.
Well, yeah, sometimes, if it's rough seas, then waves will knock you right off your feet and push you right down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had that happen too. I think I've lost 2 scoops doing that too.
Yeah.
But we know if you do, we know we got the Treasure Talk Pro Scepter Titanium with a Myers Pro handle. It only weighs 2¼ pounds. So I'll put it up against any scoop out there.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I just am glad you had a buddy with you, and that's always good to do that. I've stepped in holes before and gone down a couple feet taller than me, and it's a creepy feeling. But you got to be ready to let your gear go and live to hunt another day.
Well, a lot of people are saying, why didn't I just drop my weight belt? And normally probably would have, but when I came up and seen the beach was so close, I really thought I could get to it. Now, I was thinking, I've had plenty of time to think about it, bouncing up like that and trying to get an air and going back down.
Yeah, it's tough. And 513 Dig says, I didn't go river hunting one time because I didn't have a buddy with me. Yeah, I think in the rivers, I for sure would have a buddy, especially our rivers here in Florida. I'd be afraid of an alligator or something in the river.
I mean, we've been chased out by alligators 2 or 3 different times. There's some good spots, but they do appear, and a lot of times I've run them off with the boat, boat motor, run around where I've seen them come up and drive them away. But,
Hey, now this question is from Pink Power Alley Treasure Hunter. Jeff posted it up there. Did Jimmy have too much weight as normally with the blue 3 units? There are to be just slightly negative buoyancy. Did you have too much weight on? What do you think?
I might have had just a little bit too much weight. Todd came up with something the other day. He went on a vacation and he used a local dive shop to get some weights. And he went in there and told the dive manager that he needed 35 pounds weight. And the guy looked at him and says, "For what?" And I guess the guy thought, well, hey, scuba diving, you probably don't need that much weight, probably 10 or 15 pounds. But when you're diving like that, you want to go straight down to the bottom, with the detector and scan the bottom like that. And you don't want to be floating up trying to trying to stay on the bottom. So yeah, you do use a little bit more weight than what you do if it was diving.
Yeah. Yeah, you do use a lot of weight. I have friends who do the same thing over here on our side, and they tell me they use 20 pounds to hold them to the bottom so they're not bouncing around.
Yeah, and as in salt water you're more buoyant than what
Right.
in fresh water. So fresh water you probably don't need that much weight at all.
Yeah. So have you found any more Spanish treasure?
No, we have the trouble with the state of Florida want to replenish sand every time the wind blows, and the area is packed down with all that trucked in sand. So I don't really expect to be able to find anything until we have a good storm come through and drag all that sand back out, all that $1 million worth of sand they pump, putting up on the beach, pulling it right back down, killing the reefs, but they don't care about the reefs, not as much as they think they do.
Yeah.
But they do want that tax, that tourist money.
Right. Well, for the folks who don't know, Jimmy found these here. These. I got it on the wrong camera.
There you go.
This was American Digger's fastest selling magazine.
Yeah, Butch told me that. Sure did.
They sold out of that really quick. I think I got a few extra ones so I could have them here in the shop. Because people ask me, hey, do people still find Spanish treasure? I said, well, you did in this magazine, April of 21, but you found that in the winter, right?
Found that in the winter of actually 2018.
2018.
I stayed quiet for quite a while because, well, matter of fact, even now, I am still continuing to try to get a permit from the state of Florida to work that area a little bit more. I've got everything lined up. I've got, treasure boats, archaeologists, production person, electronics guy that does the side scan radar and all that. But Florida will not give up a permit.
Now, is it an area different than the 1715 fleet?
It is outside that box. It is.
Ooh,
And that's the reason you have to get a permit to do anything with it.
So the only way you're going to find any more there is to go back to the beach when something magical happens with storm. And, that was a nor'easter when you found this, wasn't it?
It was a February northeaster, yes.
Yeah. So a lot of times folks say, oh, you got to go after a hurricane. I always say, well, not necessarily, because a hurricane, you're not going to get out on the barrier islands most of the time.
Well, that's true. They shut them down as quickly as, the wind blows.
Yeah. So
And plus, there's so much trash deposited with the hurricane.
yes. Well. So
I think they do that because they want to keep onlookers off the beach and possibly looters if there's any damage or anything done
Yes.
to any of the homes.
yes,
Yeah.
I can imagine that. Yeah, for sure. So Jimmy, tell us what gear you're using now.
I've always been a mine labber.
Okay.
I found the treasure with the CTX 3030, and I still have that detector. I will not get rid of that detector. I'll keep it till
Well,
grandkids do something with it. I don't know what'll happen to it. That's kind of like the old double barrel shotgun up over the fireplace. It hangs there for forever.
yeah, well, it's a deep detector, and especially if you put that big coil on it. And I know the other detectors are lighter, but it's still a very good detector for sure.
Now, I went through the equinoxes and burned up 2 or 3 of those, and I do have 2 of the Manticores now, and I really do like them. And I like to try out that 9-inch if I possibly can. Now, I think Mind Lab ought to think a little bit more. I've been offered Detexpert, but that has not gone through yet. And I do know that they give their testers these coils to use,
Mhm.
test and everything like that. But somehow, I'm just missing the opportunity. Uh, I think Mine Lab ought to have a few more beach and water detectors out there, trying out their thing. Now, what I've done on my Manicore that I used to dive with, I have a set of XP Deus bone conductive headphones wired to my Manicore, and that flips a lot of people out, but they really work good. If any of y'all out there that dive with your Manicore, I could not hear, with the typical headphones. I guess maybe it's my hearing or whatever like that, but with those bone conductive headphones, they really do work well.
Yeah, they do. They're excellent headphones. I didn't know you could have it wired to your Manicore, though. That's awesome.
You
Yeah,
just change the plug on it.
yeah, just change the plug out on it. I had uh, Frank from Aquatech
Aquatech did it. Well, that's cool.
do mine, and I'm sure if anybody else would want, I always trash his name every time I say it, but it's Frank Looper
Yeah, Lupagolo. So,
Looper Polo. Thank you.
yes.
And, yeah,
He
he's
makes
really
the
good.
blue headphones, the Aquatechs. And
Yes,
they're
yes.
loud too. They're pretty loud headphone too.
Oh, they're great. That extra uh, what they done with my lab, increase the volume, really does wonders with that detector.
Yes, for sure. And we got a comment from Delco Detecting, who was out yesterday in PA with the Manicore and that M9 coil. And I think that M9 coil was a copy of what Deus has. I think that's like the perfect size, and found a Spanish 2 Real from 1782.
All right.
So that's a cool find. But that Jeff, you use the 9-inch Deus, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah,
On the beach, I use 11, but if I'm dirt digging, I'm always with the 9. And I have used the 9-inch on the beach.
now
Works great.
yeah, for sure. It would. As I think sometimes the bigger coils may get overloaded a little bit from the salt, but maybe that's just me. Tom Becker says, Jimmy, would you rather use the M9 coil versus the M8, the 8 by 5.5 coil? I would think the narrower coil would separate trash more.
Yes, I have the M8, but I really haven't gotten out and used it much. I mean, I'm a beach and water hunter, so if I ever have the opportunity to get on dry land in a trashy area, I'll have it to use. But I haven't really used it yet.
Yeah, and you said you have the M8 coil?
I have the M8 core, yeah.
Yeah, that one was
What
tough.
is it? 5 by 8? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's 8 by 5.5, I think.
Okay.
It's a tough one to get in stock, but now I think I finally have some of that. I have some of the M9s also. So it's weird how they can't get enough of them. Now all of a sudden they throw them in on a deal on a Manticore.
What about the M15s?
M15s, I have that too. So yeah, so that's a good detector. So how do you like it compared to your CTX?
Well, with the CTX, I still think that is the top of the machines, even though it's got the old technology. I did not like the uh, recovery speed on it. That what was hurting it. And then when they come out with the Equinox, I thought that was just the greatest thing. And then I started hearing about the Manicore coming out, and of course they had testers out there. It was on YouTube quite a bit, and I watched them real close. And notice that line that runs across the screen. I call that the 12 line on the CTX. And
Yes.
anything comes up on that 12 line, it's you better dig it. So what I did on the Manicore, I lowered and raised the Ferris limits to almost that 12 line, and that's what I use on the beach. That, and I do use the low conductor setting on there also. But whenever I'm under the water, I use that 12 line to base everything that I dig off out of the sand there, fanning, and it works real good.
Now, do you find many modern silver coins when you're beach hunting on the East Coast?
Well, matter of fact, what was it, 2 years ago when we had, or maybe 3 years ago now, when we had that storm come through Daytona, and it took off probably about 18 inches of sand all up and down that beach. Everybody that was detecting on the East Coast at that time was digging up silver coins like crazy. I myself, I ended up with, I think, approximately 200 silver coins. And I thought, man, that, I might be top dog on that count. But we had a friend from the Daytona Club. He actually dug over 300 silver coins off the beach in that period. So it was, even barber half dollars. I didn't really hear too many City Liberty dimes or anything like that, but there was a lot of SLQs, Buffalo nickels, uh, Ben Franklin half a dollars. It was washed that sand down to that area where there wasn't nothing but. Anytime you heard a target, you dig it up, and it was a silver coin. I said, "Man, this is great." Not as quite as great as digging up, the Spanish stuff, but you got to take what you can get.
Yes, absolutely. And over here on the West Coast, it's a rarity to get a silver coin. It does happen once in a blue moon, but it's still quite rare because we don't have the erosion you guys get. So, Jeff, I see you got the drawing going, huh?
Yeah, we got it all set up.
You want to take over?
Yeah, let's just add this, and you ask Jimmy some more questions. We'll get them to. This is what you put in the chat for the Myers swag pack tonight. So that's what you put in, just as I have it. And you put that in the chat, and you'll be eligible to win because that's what the name picker is going to pick up. So that's what you got to do. And it's going to be, you're going to get a Myers t-shirt. There may be a cap in it. There will be a towel. There will be a calendar. There might be a Zazich. Who knows what Big Poppy will put in it? You never can tell.
Yeah, I saw him on here earlier. So, yeah, he usually packs it up for me on Saturday. So he might have to do a little artwork too, maybe.
And he's a generous individual.
Yes, he is. He'll pack that up good.
Oh yeah, and it'll be packed full.
Yes. So Jimmy, how many on a good year when you've been hunting the beaches? How many gold rings do you find?
Well, that's a strange thing. So I hunt with. There's actually 7 of us total, but 5 of us really get together quite a bit and hunt. And we do a kind of a ring challenge every 1st of January and last all the way through the year. Not this year, but last year, I know we totaled out, and this is unreal. We 698 rings for the whole year. Now, I think a little over 100 was probably gold rings. I ended up with 12 gold rings, and I was the one that ended up with 98 rings. I could not break that 100 mark at all, but it is what it is. Now this year, I'm not really sure because after my incident, to go back to that again, after my incident, and I got back into detecting. I was lucky enough they gathered my detector and my weight belt off the beach when I had to go to the hospital, of course. But they took out half of my weights out of my weight belt. And I asked them, "Where's my weight belt?" They says, "Well, we got it." So finally, after a couple of weeks after I got back, they gave me the weight belt back. And I said, "Wait a minute, something's wrong here. Half my weights are gone." And they immediately said, "You're in timeout. You're not going to get back out in the water until we figure that you're capable of getting back out." Now I haven't gone diving since, and the reason for that is I'm not totally sure what I'm going to do about this battery malfunction deal. Uh, I don't know yet, but until then, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay topside.
Yeah, well, it's best to wait a little bit. So I know it's been a while, but I'll wait more too. Hey,
Well, I'm not really scared to get back out in the water. It just other issues may come up. And,
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. The issue that'll come up is your wife will snatch you bald headed.
well, she's already said that too. Yeah, but I have got my weights back, and uh, I figure for a few weeks or whatever, maybe the rest of the summer, I think I'll just stay in no more than 6 foot of water.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You see that question, Phil?
Yeah, I see the one from Pink Power Alley Treasure Hunter. What is left to find on Jimmy's bucket list? And is there ever attended detectable in England?
I've been to England twice. I've got some hammered silver. No gold over there. Now, as far as my goal here, I still would like to find a U.S. gold coin, and I have found a breastplate. I like to find of course, everybody likes to find a CS belt buckle, but that's probably on the top of the list. But I like the shiny, so a U.S. gold coin would probably be my next thing.
Yeah, I'd like to find the gold coin too, for sure. The U.S. gold coin. You've got Spanish gold coins galore there. Now, did you ever have any trouble with the state when you found that?
Kind of. If you go back and think about it, it was the time period that DeSantis, governor, gave the rights to condos owners to own part of the beach, and during the time that I found the gold, it was in between that period when they gave the rights and then took the rights away. So I don't know if that made a whole lot of difference. We did have to do a report to the state, and they kind of tried to fool me. I felt like they wanted me to bring all the stuff to Tallahassee so they could record it. I didn't like the idea of that. So there was some confusion going on a little bit, but the smart thing that we done whenever I found the gold coins, we GPSed every coin that we found, and then we could prove that we found it on the beach and not out in the water. Now, if we found some of it out in the water, Florida probably took that away.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised, because in Florida, if you read the rules, anything over 50 years, they say is theirs.
Yeah. And I think all that led back when Mel Fisher won his court case with the state of Florida. The first thing that the state done was went back and made new laws, suggesting that.
Did you see the question, Philip?
Yeah. Ask Jimmy if he still talks to or knows the Treasure Jack is.
Oh, definitely. I hadn't spoken with Treasure Jack in quite a while, but it's probably been, we started hunting back probably about 10 years ago. And we was hunting a small town in our area, and we were just wearing out, the yards and digging up silver, and a few buttons and things like that. But I hadn't heard from Jack in quite a while, so I hope he's doing well.
This is a good one from Ricky T, and he says, have you ever had regrets about announcing your treasure find and wish you had kept it quiet?
All the time. I've told a few people, it's almost, I don't know, maybe there is somewhat of a curse involved with that gold, because there's been some really strange things. And of course, back in January, things has happened to me that I can't really explain. I mean, much more than that, but I can't get into all the details, but yeah, I mean, it's if I had to do it again, like I said, I waited 2 years before I even done the video, put the video out on YouTube, and after that, I mean, it's just been. I've had people say that they're hacking my videos, they're putting GPS, uh, trackers on my car, and all that kind of stuff, and hate mail and comments on my YouTube channel and things like that.
Yeah, there's idiots, Jimmy. There you can't get away from them. Idiots are going to be idiots. Haters are going to be haters, and AHs are going to be AHs, and that's all that is to it.
Yeah,
I don't really pay that much attention to all that stuff, but if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't have done it. And of course, big plug into my YouTube channel. I still enjoy doing YouTube, and the YouTube channel is, of course, Jimmy Crossbones. I appreciate everybody out there if they, sub in and like and share and do all that stuff. Don't really make that much money on it. Once I get to a certain goal, I'm planning on doing a monthly donation to the Wounded Warriors because my younger son was a Marine over in Iraq. So I thought that'd be a good cause, to do something like that. But until I, reach a certain point, I don't want to start doing that and then have to back out of it. So I want to make sure I got enough in there to, keep it going.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess we're getting ready to do a drawing, but the Mumbles Man, Tin Mailer, says, what's your most unusual find?
Oh, well, it's probably been 4 or 5 years ago. Now, I did not find this, but this was the most unusual thing. I was hunting with Florida Rob, and he called me over. We was probably 100 yards apart on the beach here in New Smyrna. And so I went over there to him because, I was doing a video for the channel, and walked up over there and looked in the hole, and there was a big old shiny jar looking thing. And we pulled it out, and it was actually the whole urn of human remains. So he pulled it up, and I said, well, I want to take a picture of it. And I took a picture of it and a thing like that. He said, feel how heavy it is. I said, I'm not touching that thing. So shortly after that, Rob had all kinds of health issues. So again, bad mojo, but he took it out and threw it back out as far as he could out there, but he touched it. I didn't.
Interesting for sure. Yeah, that's like finding the crematory tags.
We find them all the time, and I'll just take them, just twirl them back out in the, skip them off the ocean and get rid of them.
I call them reminder tokens. Remind you to get out there and do what you love doing. So that's why they're there, because we'll all probably be there one day.
Well, you love giving away swag packs, so let's do that.
Let's do that, Jeff. It's time.
Yes, it is. So let's see. And away we go. Andrew T. So you got Andrew. I was going to say, make sure Andrew T. You put your T-shirt size in there, so I don't have to harass Jeff for it. That's right.
And I'll let you
know the drill, Andrew. TreasureTalkShow@gmail.com. Name, address, phone number, and T-shirt size. And you never know. If you send Big Poppy a sweet email, he might put his size each.
With a little artwork on it.
Yes.
I'll have to tell him on Saturday he's got to put some artwork on a sausage.
He's listening.
Is he on here? I saw him on the beginning.
He's here.
I think he was a little late to the show, so we'll have to get on him for that.
He was sausage shopping.
There you go. All righty. So Jimmy, you've got what's the next big hunt the Central Florida Club's doing?
Back when I was the president, because of COVID at the time, we started doing them in October, and October is pretty bad on the heat. And pretty much bad on the storms, so we moved them till the spring of the year. I think this last one we had in March, and it was real successful and much cooler. And so I think the next one will probably be this upcoming March next year.
Okay, so March of next year. So if
Yeah.
you're over in the Central Florida area, you should check out Jimmy's Club, either the one there in Daytona or the one in DeBerry for sure. It's a Central Florida club, because that's both of those are excellent clubs, and you learn a lot. Don't you think new members learn a lot coming to the clubs?
We have new members every month come in, and of course we try to help them out all we can, and even we do have just a regular club hunt every month, and we invite them to come by early, and we'll kind of show them the ropes and show them the detector, because everybody in the club will have the same kind of detector that they're using. So and again, I always tell everybody that's new to the hobby is to go on the YouTube channels, and you can learn more, because that's how I learned what I did. I started watching the YouTube channels and figuring out what I need to do to be a good detectorist.
Excellent. So how many, we got a question from Tom Becker, and he's asking how many members are in your clubs?
I don't know exact number, but I know it's around 300.
In the Central Florida Club, right?
Yeah, we are probably the biggest in the nation.
Yes.
I don't know that there is any other that's large. Now, a lot of those, of course, there are members, but they're paid members. But we usually have at every meeting, we usually have close to anywhere from 70 to 100 people show up for our monthly meetings. Yeah.
Yeah. The club meetings I went to, they had about close to 100 people over there when I made that trek across I-4. Yeah, that's good. I think you guys are the largest club in the nation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Our club over here in Tampa, before the pandemic, we had over 100, but now it's probably around 60. So that hurt a lot of clubs. The pandemic did.
yeah, dude.
Shutting everything down for sure.
Well, our new president is our past president, and that's Carolyn. She took the spot back, and she's got a newborn baby. And I was wondering, how in the world she's going to do that with a newborn. But she's doing a fantastic job. And even one of our past presidents, Alan James, has come back into the picture, and he's the vice president. So we're running real good. I mean, we're having a blast over there. And if you're ever in the area, you need to come by and check us out.
Yeah, for sure. And how about your YouTube channel? Why don't you announce that again?
YouTube channel is Jimmy Crossbones, and I think around 4,000 subscribers so far. So, and I'll try to put out at least one every week. Of course, this is the season. I've got 3 backed up. The one that's on there now is a real good. Oh yeah, that was a real good one. We come out. We hunted South Florida, and we come out with 17 rings, 5 gold.
Oh,
so,
nice.
You find a lot of these, junk rings and things like that, but we count them in our, ring challenge and do like that. So we really get out and do a hustle. Now we hunt the East Coast, we hunt the West Coast, all the way down to Key West. We've got all the way up to Jacksonville, South Carolina. There's no place we won't go to detect.
Mm-hmm. Now, over here on the East Coast, what are your favorite beaches or the West Coast rather?
West Coast.
What's your favorite beaches over here?
Well, let's see, Treasure Island, St. Pete, Clearwater. I don't think there's a beach I haven't been to along through there. Mm-hmm. Past week, I think we went to, I can't remember we hit 4 different beaches the last time we was over there. Now, what we try to look at, whenever we got a strong east wind, we head to the West Coast. And whenever there's a west wind, we know we're good on the East Coast. So, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, but the water's warmer over on our side, and normally a lot less waves.
A lot less waves. I like the clearness of the water over on the West Coast more. And it was
Yeah.
just down South Beach and all that area down there. We got clear water. And we was in the water. Well, again, January when I had my incident, and I call it my incident now. It was like 77 degrees down there in January.
Yeah.
So
Now,
we see a lot of wintertime months when we're down there.
are you wearing a wetsuit?
Uh, what we call spring suit, short sleeves, short pants, just
Oh, okay.
not the
A shorty.
shorty. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, because the cold water gets a little cold to me. If it's less than 80 degrees, I'm thinking it's cold.
yeah, really, it is. It's
Don't you think, Jeff?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the coldest I've been in is 65.
Boo.
And that is a full wetsuit. And you can stand it for a little bit, but then pretty soon you better get your hiney out of there because all of a sudden it'll just get on you.
Yeah, and it fatigues you fast, I think.
No, fatigue's just digging all the trash.
That too. So, Jimmy, are you a diver also, or do you just do the Nemo?
No, I'm certified diver also.
Okay. All right, cool.
I've got the opportunity to dive on the treasure boats a couple of times. I'm a very, very, very small stockholder in the Queen's Jewels LLC, so that gives me kind of the right. I can go down there and hop
Couple
on the boat. And, yeah,
Yeah,
and,
that would be a neat trip for sure.
yeah. It's plan a trip down and hunt a little bit with Sal Gattuso. He's got a boat down there, and he's going to let us do a little dredging down on the reefs a little bit.
Okay, cool. Well, it looks like, Jeff, our time's just about up, isn't it?
It is. It does that every week.
It goes super fast. But
Yes, it does.
But Jimmy, I wanted to thank you for coming on here for sure and sharing your wisdom with us, and hopefully everything is fine now. You can get back in the water, do your diving if you want.
I think they got me. I think I'm out. I'm out of timeout now. But again, I want to thank everybody because I was just overwhelmed with all the prayers and all the contacts and everything I had during that time. Uh, I was just amazed, and I just want to continue to thank everybody for all their prayers and all their well wishes and everything. And I've said to several people, I really think the Lord has something else planned for me, but I don't know what it is yet. So
He'll let you know.
I'm gonna keep on bumping away and digging holes and seeing what comes out of them. But I really do enjoy this hobby, and I really thank y'all for letting me share the story.
Well, thank you for coming on here. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jocelyn. And thank you to the Bicorns for sending us these cool shirts.
That's
And
it.
Jocelyn purse for sure.
Yes, indeed. That's Trumbull Treasure Hunters, another great club. It's
Yeah.
the premier club in Ohio, so get you some of that.
For sure. And I want to thank everybody who's on here with us. And thank many members of Treasure Talk, there's thousands, and also the Florida Metal Detector Group. And thank you, Jeff. And I'll let you sign us off.
All righty, Jimmy, thanks. And we're just so very, very pleased that you were able to join us, that you were still here with us, because
Yes.
you scared the what out of us, and don't do it anymore.
Anytime.
Just don't do it no more.
You got my
I'll be right
promise.
there. I'll be right there with your wife, and I will help her snatch you bald-headed, boy, for sure. So thanks for joining us tonight. Sorry that Captain Nemo couldn't join us. He had a family emergency, but those things happen. Now, everybody, next week we're going to talk coins with Richard from Coinocopia, and this guy knows coins.
Yes, he does.
He's very knowledgeable and a great guest. You've seen him before. And so get your questions ready. And if you got some coins, he'll make sure that he gets them answered for you. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We look forward to seeing you every week. And I want to thank Phil. Thanks, Jocelyn. And thank you all for watching and making this possible for us to do. And congratulations to Andrew T. Now he's going to gift his gift to Gwen Fairley. So Gwen, you need to send your name, address, phone number, and t-shirt size to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. And we'll get it out to you when we get it. So thanks everybody for watching. Happy hunting and dig deeper.